Alright, welcome people, welcome back to my channel. This is BJapan85. This is Usman versus Burns. Let me just recap my last event. We always do that. I took a big hit with my only pre-fight bet of the card, which was Mikey Rodriguez -7 unit loss, on the night. My pretty little record of 15-1 is gone. Now it's 15-1. That's the way it goes when you trust these idiots like Mikey Rodriguez that can't seem to improve their takedown defense. That's a big red flag, people. And I did big sin there. I should have learned from past mistakes and drawn from my experience as a better but I took a little gamble there. I thought that this striking with Mikey Rodriguez was so much better that he probably would just smoke Marquez, but Marquez did fight a good fight. He just took the fight down where he needed to win so fast. So that's okay. We're just gonna own up to the loss. No excuses. Just gotta take the loss on the chin and just keep moving on. So we still got a lot of events. I think we got 3 events coming up, and I think that it's possible to completely recover. Just only after this event, I think I will win my 7 units back. And just gotta say sorry to my Better MMA community. I'm really sorry. I think we're going to rebound and have a big comeback next weekend or the following weekend. So just pay attention. On Better MMA, I have already made 2 big bets, and I think I will probably make a 3rd one. So, enough with the chit-chat, let's win my money back. Alright, so to the first fight of the night, Maverick versus Robertson. Robertson plus 120, underdog Maverick minus 140. So, I am leaning towards Maverick. I believe she can avoid being taken down, which is the key factor of this fight. If Maverick can stand upright, the fight is already won. I think she has a lot better striking. I think she's more athletic, stronger, has better wrestling. As long as Maverick can keep this fight upright, she wins. But at the same time, I don't feel like there's enough tape to be confident. Maverick has been grounded before. I've seen her lost positions twice against Pearl Gonzalez. It's not that she didn't win that fight. She won that fight in almost every round. She took down Pearl Gonzalez, but she was still reversed. And even though I thought she did a good job, I can't really know how her submission defense is. And also the level of competition is important for me, so I need to see that Miranda Maverick doesn't flake out or get submitted easily, and there's not for me enough tape to kind of be confident. So I do think that Maverick can most likely follow the same game plan as Taila Santos did. She has the same physical attributes, the same sort of qualities. She has good striking, she has a good ground game, so she can most likely win this if she can keep this upright, and maybe even she can tangle a little bit with Robertson like Santos did, because Santos kind of exposed Robertson a little bit. That maybe it's not that dangerous going to the ground with Robertson after all, but as long as I haven't really seen those key aspects of Maverick's game, I have to pass it. It sucks. I'm always itching to bet any fighter almost if they're really good, and I see some value, but I think it's hard to make the bet here. So my pick is going to be Miranda Maverick. Maybe she will get a late TKO. Maybe she will get a decision, but I can't really bet her, so that's it. Alright, so to the second fight of the night, we got Gabe Green minus 110, Philip Rowe plus 100, plus 105. Okay, so I may have 5 units play here. So let's just jump into it. I got a lot of things to say about this fight. Okay, so the first thing I do when I break down fights is to go to Sherdog and watch their record. And from the look of it, Gabe Green has fought a lot better competition, has faced guys with a winning record, and that is a key aspect. So he has faced people like D-Rod, he has faced people like Leroy, which was 7-0, or 7-1, I'm sorry, and he has beaten people like Jalen Turner and Christian Aguilera. So Gabe Green has beaten people that is in the UFC and is winning in the UFC, while Philip Rowe has only faced people that made their debut or were like 0-4 and 0-5, And the only person he has faced with a winning record is Shabazian, which he faced in his last fight in the UFC or Dana White Contender Series. But Shabazian is also a little liar because he has also faced people only making their debut or being like 18-46, 0-1, etc., etc. So Philip Rowe has only faced people that hasn't really fought in MMA almost. So, and also after I do the record analysis, obviously I will go to YouTube and I will actually watch the fighters and I will try to see if the fighters the record reflects what I see. And when I see Philip Rowe in his fight with Shabazian, where he actually almost getting knocked out and loses the first round, and I compare it to what I see with Gabe Green fighting people like Richard Leroy, D-Rod, I just see that Gabe Green is so much further in his career. He has tightened up all his hold to a bigger extent, fought in the better competition, has more power, is more durable, better chin, more cardio, better ground game. He has some tendency to be taken down, much probably because he's very confident in his grappling game, but that is one of the red flags with this fight. I don't like that Gabe Green, in one of his fights where he faced a guy that was 5-3, got taken down. He was never really controlled. He always fought for submission and ended up winning by a third round rear naked choke. So that's the one of the risk factors with this fight, also in combination with Rowe having a 7-inch reach advantage. But I think that Gabe Green will overcome this pretty easily. He will push forward. He will throw a lot more punches. He can take the fight to the ground, or if the fight ends up on the ground, he will most likely have the advantage there as well. So at minus 110, I think that this line is actually undervalued, and I think it's so undervalued. I actually think that this is borderline a mistake by the bookies. It's minus 110. It's going down to minus 120 now. It should probably be somewhere like minus 200, minus 230, something in that range. So I made a big bet, having no sort of... I don't really care if I lost 7 units, 10 units, 15 units. If I mean that this is a big play, I will make the play. And I think that you should do that as well. So the pick is going to be Gabe Green, most likely to win by second round TKO. Alright, so featherweight, it seems that both fighters are moving up one weight class to featherweight, probably because of short notice. That's okay. Ricky Simon, he comes in as minus 250 favorite. Kelleher plus 210. I was thinking about betting this fight, or maybe I actually did bet the fight last time before it got moved. Then the line was minus 188 on Ricky Simon, but now it's minus 250, so it's not playable. Really annoying that when lines get released or re-released, that suddenly the value is gone, and it's like, it doesn't even make any sense. Like, Ricky Simon faced a guy that was maybe like minus 500 in the world, and because he won impressively, which is expected, then suddenly the line goes from minus 188 to minus 250. So it's just like, what can you do? So it's just, we know that Ricky Simon obviously is better, maybe not everywhere, but he is at least better where it matters, which is in the wrestling. So he's just going to take down Kelleher, avoid the submissions, or he can maybe he can outstrike Kelleher as well. I don't know, but he's going to win this fight anyway. It's a parlay leg. It's not a straight bet, unfortunately for us. So the pick is going to be Ricky Simon. I say by decision. All right, women's strawweight. We got a fight between Poliana Viana. She is plus 135, and Mallory Martin, she is minus 155. So don't see any value either side here. I find both girls pretty untrustworthy in a way. I actually had money on Mallory Martin last fight against Hannah Cyphers, and I was sweating like a pig, and she needed to almost getting knocked out to understand that she has to take the fight to the ground, and but she did, but Just really poor fighter IQ in my opinion. Standing and trading when Hannah Cyphers. That was Hannah Cyphers' only chance of winning, and she almost lost the fight. So, when it comes to Poliana Viana, she is a world champion in BJJ if Joe Rogan has given me the correct information, but she still doesn't have the wrestling to take the fight to the ground. Didn't have the wrestling to take it down in both the Cyphers and the Aldrich fight. In the Machado fight, she got actually out-grappled or at least submitted. So that doesn't inspire much confidence in her fight here against Mallory Martin, which is probably a lot better wrestler than Machado is. And she can probably keep this fight standing if she wanted to, and it's all about the game plan of Mallory Martin. If Mallory Martin wants this fight to stay standing, she could probably, and then the fight will obviously be won on the feet. If she takes Viana down, then things start to get pretty dicey. So that's why you can't really bet either girl. Here, in my opinion, I don't see any value, but let's say I'm going to just pick Mallory Martin here to win a boring decision. Okay, so to a welterweight fight between Belal Muhammed, Diego Lima. Belal Muhammed coming in as a minus 325 favorite, Diego Lima plus 265. I'm not going to bet this fight because the line is shattered. If I was supposed to bet someone here, it would probably be Belal Muhammed at decision. That prop is minus 120. That might be an okay bet, perhaps because you know that Belal Muhammad's finishing capabilities isn't very strong. At the same time, Diego Lima doesn't have a lot of submission losses on his record. Standing, I don't think that Diego Lima will outstrike Belal Muhammed either. I actually think that Belal Muhammed might be the better striker overall as well, so he's got the advantage in both departments. But if he has issues with Diego Lima, he could most likely just take it down anyway. So this fight is pretty well set by the bookies. They have absolutely understood that Belal Muhammed will win this fight easy. But so this could be another parlay leg in my opinion, because we have already seen, that Belal Muhammed will survive against a lot tougher competition, people with a lot more power in their hands. So I don't think this fight is really dangerous for Belal Muhammed. So it's going to be like a boring ass fight. Most likely Belal Muhammed just going to take the fight to the ground. So I'm going to say Belal Muhammed wins by a boring decision. Alright, so to a middleweight fight between Rodolfo Viera and Hernandez. Hernandez plus 325, Rodolfo Viera minus 400. Easy fight to break down. You know that Viera, he's going to get the takedowns, and when that happens, the 11-time world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion or Pan-American or European champion, he has champion in every organization, every World Cup out there, is going to win by submission. The inside distance is minus 160. That's probably where you need to go, because the minus 400 is way too expensive for me. I mean, we don't have any guarantee that Anthony Hernandez couldn't stuff the takedowns. That's just my assumption and my conclusion after watching tape. But I'm not that confident in Viera. Overall, I just think his striking is decent. I think his takedowns and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very, very crafty. But going forward, I'm 100% sure someone is going to stuff his takedown. I don't see championship material in Viera here, but I do think that he is a lot better than Anthony Hernandez in terms of being so much better in one area. So I'm going to side with Viera to win here by second round submission. So to the next fight, we got a lightweight contest between Jim Miller and Bobby King Green. These guys will never quit. These guys are going to fight until they're 50 years old. Bobby Green, he comes in as a minus 260 favorite, of course, and Jim Miller plus 220. I think the line is a little bit wide. We know this fight is probably going to be pretty close. Bobby Green perhaps is going to win the 2 first round, or maybe he'll win first round, lose the second, and then pour it on Jim Miller the last round, because Jim Miller also have issues with his cardio. Standing advantage, I don't know, maybe it'll be close. I just think that Bobby Green probably will grind it out here unless Jim Miller can lock up a sub. But Bobby Green, he has good submission defense. He has been, he's such a savvy veteran, so it's not easy to submit someone with like 15, 20 years with professional fighting experience. And also in the UFC, he has fought such a good competition. So you normally wouldn't submit Bobby Green. Maybe there's a prop or something on the fight goes. The distance probably going to be juiced out of another world, but that's the only play I think is viable here. Bobby Green is probably going to win by decision, so that is also going to be my official pick, but I'm not going to bet the fight. Don't trust either guy, but the pick is going to be Bobby King Green to win by decision. Alright, so to a middleweight fight between Pitolo and Marquez. Marquez minus 165, Pitolo plus 145. So I won't bet this fight. The fight is super hard to call in my opinion. I believe Marquez is the better overall fighter, but the layoff kind of taints the fight and makes it a guessing contest. Pitolo might have the advantage of being the more active fighter, but you can also argue against that and state that Marquez is the better fighter overall. So for those reasons, it's a pretty clear pass. Value is probably on Pitolo at plus 145. But if you're going to bet this fight, why not just bet it live? All the answers you have pre-tape will most likely be answered live. So instead of making bold predictions pre-fight, just try to bet it live instead. That's the only correct way to solve this issue in my opinion. But I will side with the more active fighter in Pitolo to win a split decision. Alright, so to 140-pound catch weight between Ewell plus 120, Gutierrez minus 155. This is a fight that I won't be betting. It's a hard fight to call. I think that Gutierrez should be slightly favored here, so I think that the bookies made the right decision putting Gutierrez as the favorite. He has two ways or two paths to win. The one is to take Ewell down. Ewell has horrible takedown defense. He has pretty horrible get-up game and submissions from the ground. So if Gutierrez can take this fight to the ground, this is his fight to lose. But if this fight stays standing, he will give the 8-inch reach advantage of Ewell a shot. I still think that Gutierrez might have success striking, uses his kicks, but I can't really know which approach he uses, and for those reasons I'm out, as they say in Shark Tank. I won't be betting this fight, but gun to my head, I will most likely side with the well-roundedness of Gutierrez, so I'm going to pick him here. I'll say Gutierrez win by decision. Alright, so to another middleweight fight between Gastelum minus 230, Heinisch plus 190. I believe that this fight will primarily be contested on the feet. I don't think Heinisch or Gastelum sees any hole in the other person's grappling. Gastelum can probably take down Heinisch, but Heinisch will get up pretty fast. I'll say exactly the same with Heinisch. He could probably take down Gastelum, but Gastelum will be very fast to get up, wall walk, etc. So I think that both fighters will come in with a striking-based game plan. And here I think that Gastelum has the quicker hands, he has the better boxing. That's probably why we already see money is pouring in on Gastelum at this point. But I do not trust Gastelum. I feel he is on a decline. I know that, his weak performances against Darren Till is probably because Darren Till is very good. But I just don't want to trust Gastelum at minus 230. So I'm going to pass. But I do think that Gastelum should be favored and that he will win a decision. I'll say he win a 29-28 type of decision. So the pick is going to be Gastelum, but it's going to be a no bet. Alright, co-main event of the evening, women's flyweight, Barber plus 115, Grasso minus 130. I really struggle with this one. Who's the most effective striker of these two? Grasso more traditional, cleaner strikes, straighter punches and combination, but she's really hittable. She's way too hittable for my liking. She was tagged quite a bit against Young Kim in her last fight. So I'm not really impressed with Grasso. I think the value might be on Barber here. Barber has her own problems. I mean, she's very hittable. She was tagged up by JJ Aldridge. It seems to me that she doesn't really have a good jab and very good understanding of range. but when she decides to throw hard punches, she's really dangerous because she has, as I said, a lot of power and she's athletic. So there's an avenue for victory for Barber here where she can probably throw hard strikes, clinch, and maybe get some takedowns as well. But because I really think that Barber is the superior athlete here, but I think also it's very hard to gauge or to have a clear opinion, because I think that Barber vary too much, is too inconsistent. But if someone asks me to place a bet, I'll probably say that the value is on Barber. I do think that if I'm going to play this fight, I most likely will just wait and see and live bet it instead. So, but I'm actually going to side with Barber here. I do think she has the better ceiling. I think that she might have improved a little bit on in the last year. So I will go Barber by second round TKO. A bit of surprise there maybe, but yeah, I'm going to side with Barber here to win a second round TKO. Alright, main event. We got a welterweight title between Usman minus 280, Gilbert Burns the underdog plus 240. For a week ago I made a 5-unit bet on Usman, but I did it at minus 220. The line is slightly worse now. I wouldn't bet Usman at that price, but I will take his prop bet winning in round 4 or 5 and by decision. That prop bet is plus 100. I would probably reduce my stake a little bit, play it for maybe half a unit, 1 unit, something in that area. So to the fight, I think Usman has the better. I think Usman is better everywhere. I think his striking is better, wrestling is better. He has also a sizable 6-inch reach advantage. And despite the love out there for Burns, I see that the public is actually betting down Usman. So I agree with that line movement. I think that Kamaru Usman should be the favorite. So to a little reminder or some discussion about our bets, I'll say that for Kamaru Usman bet, if Gilbert Burns for some reason is proving to be the better striker, I will say that mid round 2 I will probably buy out at the live betting window. That's where I will draw the line. When it comes to Gabe Green, I've seen so little of Gabe Green in the UFC, and the same also with Philip Rowe, that this presents a much larger risk. So if I see that Gabe Green is losing in round 1, I will consider the bet as dead and I will buy out. There are normally I will say this: if you have a bet and the bet loses in round 1, the rule of thumb is that bet is lost. There will be exceptions to the rule. An exception is, for instance, when I bet Anthony Pettis a couple of months ago. There, Pettis lost the first round, and I waited it out a little bit because I thought that Pettis would most likely win round 2 and round 3. So there will be exceptions to that rule. But most likely, I'll say 7-8 times out of 10, if your fighter is underperforming, and he's losing round 1, there's something fishy going on, don't take the risk. Try to buy out at a decent price and save your money, and then place your money somewhere where you have a better hand. Okay, that's all for now. I'll be back next week as always. Good luck with your bets, and goodbye for now.